Incoming freshman students at Duke University are upset at an optional reading selection book that was included in a summer reading program. Now, the name of the book is Fun Home by a New York Times winning author by the name of Allison Bechdel, okay? Now, the book is about her life as a lesbian and also her father, who was a closeted gay guy. And so it's a little bit of a memoir. It obviously has some gay themes in it, and it also includes some illustrations that are sexually explicit, including lesbians having oral sex and things like that. Now, Brian Grasso is one of the incoming freshmen that was upset at this selection. He has decided that he is not going to read it, and he actually went on Duke's Class of 2019 Facebook page and aired his grievances about the book. As a result, some people disagreed with him, other students agreed with him, and then this turned into a national headline. Now, the reason why this story enrages me is because Duke and most colleges are institutions of higher learning, where you're supposed to deal with people who challenge your values and your beliefs. And unfortunately, Brian Grasso seems unwilling to be challenged, although he did write a very lengthy op-ed about this in the Washington Post, and I want to give you his side of the story, and then we'll discuss.
One quick thought here. So as Anna's about to read you this, understand that I think he's doing this for the shine, okay? And he actually, in a lot of ways, sounds like a Muslim fundamentalist. Okay, and in fact, he says that at one point. He says, "Oh, one of the most enthusiastic supporters I had was a Muslim who really believes you shouldn't be looking at cartoons either." I'm not sure that's really a selling point. Okay, he literally talks about cartoons that he found offensive. Gee, I wonder what that sounds like. Now, he's not taking any violent action or anything like that. I don't want you to misunderstand. But let's find out about how touchy Mr. Grasso is.
Okay, he says, after researching the book's content and reading a portion of it, I choose to opt out of the assignment. My choice had nothing to do with the ideas presented. I'm not opposed to reading memoirs written by LGBTQ individuals or stories containing suicide. I'm not even opposed to reading Freud, Marx, or Darwin. Are you not merciful?
Oh, okay.
I know that I'll have to grapple with ideas I don't agree with, even ideas that I find immoral. I think there is an important distinction between images and written words. If the book explored the same themes without sexual images or erotic language, I would have read it. But viewing pictures of sexual acts, regardless of the genders of the people involved, conflict with the inherent sacredness of sex. My beliefs extend to pop culture and even Renaissance art depicting sex.
Oh, you poor son of a bitch. Okay. All right, so let's start to break this down a little bit. So what were we negotiating here? You know what? I'll give you Freud and Darwin and Marx. Okay, I'll read those. Okay, but here are the things I will not read, and I know Renaissance art in this book and that book. I'm not negotiating with you. I'm your professor. You're my student. If you don't like it, here's what you're going to do. You're going to fail. You're going to flunk out of my class, and then you could be a wonderful Christian martyr then, or a Muslim martyr. There's going to be guys who might agree with you on that side. Oh my God! They made me look at a boob. And he failed me. Okay, then he failed you. Hey, then what I thought you were strong and brave and you're willing to do whatever it takes for your faith, right? I'm not negotiating with you about what the curriculum is.
No, I can't. This story enrages me because of many different reasons. First of all, from the perspective of someone who goes through the trouble of putting a syllabus together for her class, it is, no, like that's not a humble brag, okay? Putting a syllabus together and deciding what the curriculum will be, it takes a lot of work, okay? A lot of work, very little pay, a lot of passion. And so when a professor puts something together to educate you and then you turn around and say, no, I'm not gonna do this because of my religion, well then get the fuck off the campus, okay? I'm not saying you should be kicked off. Or kicked out.
We'll get to that in a second.
No, I don't think he should be kicked out, but I would fail him for that assignment in a heartbeat. Okay, it's your religion, that's fine. I'm a professor, this is what's expected of you. This is an institution of higher learning. This is not a church, it's not a mosque, it's not a temple. You are supposed to be challenged about your ideas and your preconceived notions. If you're unwilling to open your mind up to new information because you're worried about seeing a titty, then get the fuck off the campus and open up a seat for someone who is open-minded enough. I'm sorry.
And so there's one other thing here that's interesting. It's the sense of entitlement.
Yes.
He says, I'm not even opposed to reading Freud, Marx, or Darwin. Who asked you, right? And you're going to Duke, one of the best colleges in the country, and then you're going to have a conversation. You know what? Okay, fine. I'll let you teach Darwin to me. Come on, man. I mean, you obviously don't belong because you're not interested in learning. You view it as a concession to learn about some of the brilliant minds in world history. Now, look, I think Marx was totally wrong. I objected to Marx when I was in business school. It was back in 1988. I know I'm old. Okay, and they're teaching us Marx. I'm like, can we skip this crap? So I don't mind you having your opinions. I got strong opinions, right? But wasn't like, I will now opt out of this. No, I read it. I took a test on it. I wrote a paper on it because I was a student and I was there to learn.
I think the problem is when you immediately shut something out because it disagrees with your beliefs or your values, whatever it is. And look, again, that's the whole point of going to college, okay? You go into college as an idiot, and then you come out of college as an idiot, but a little smarter, right? And so if you're not going to open yourself up to different possibilities, different perspectives, different ideas, then you just don't have a place in college. I feel bad for the student who didn't get in because you took his or her spot. You're wasting the professor's time, you're wasting the school's time, and you are eating up very valuable resources. So that's the reason why I'm so fed up and annoyed by this.
Right. Now, I know you're exaggerating, but I don't agree. I think I went into college fairly smart and came out with at least more facts, okay, and more learning. And I remember the teacher asking me, what do you think, you're smarter than Karl Marx? And being the asshole that I am, I was like, yeah, I kind of do, because he's totally wrong about that. Okay, so, but the thing is, and I'm not saying this kid's an idiot. You know, he wrote a good essay here that winds up in the Washington Post. He's put some thought into it. He says he read the Bible several times, but he's grossly misled, and it's not at his place to make these kinds of decisions. So, by the way, in his defense, he quotes the Bible, which, okay, that's like your opinion, man, but that has nothing, no bearing on a course material that's being taught, right? What do you say in math? Oh, the Thor doesn't believe in calculus. Sorry about that. I'm going to have to opt out.
No, no, it doesn't, but him quoting the Bible doesn't do anything for me because he quotes the parts of the Bible that are convenient for him. So the part that he quotes is where you're not supposed to look at like naked people because you might get an erection. Oh my God, it's the end of the world, okay? My principles come primarily from my understanding of the Bible, which I've read multiple times, studied weekly in community for the last 7 years, and consider to be the Word of God. And then he notes the Bible verses that apply to that, right? Okay, well, what about Deuteronomy, homeboy? Okay.
Homeboy.
That's a hard word to say, but we all know what's in Deuteronomy. If you've read the Bible, it's basically condoning rape. So, are you okay with that? Are you going to discuss?
It's the Word of God.
Are you going to discuss that? I don't know. Are you okay with poisoning a woman who's pregnant to see whether or not she cheated on her husband? Because that's in the Bible too. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't pick out parts of the Bible that are convenient for you and your ridiculous arguments. And by the way, let me see your freaking search history on your browser, because I guarantee that you've been looking at YouPorn. And that's okay. Do you, boo, because it's a normal thing and you shouldn't be ashamed of it. Just don't go around telling professors what they should and shouldn't assign to all students based on your religious morality.
Okay, let me quote the Bible verses for you that he quoted. He said, but I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart. Yeah, but the professor's not making you look at her lustfully. There's a cartoon drawing of some tits. So you're the one putting the lust into it, so that's your problem. Okay, you don't have to look at it lustfully, but apparently you do, right? And he says, if your right eye, this is again quoting the Bible, if your right eye causes you to stumble, gouge it out and throw it away. Well, all right, do you, boo. I mean, don't, for God's sake, don't do it, okay? But the picture didn't make you do that. You're the one who did that, right? It's your eye. He doesn't say, God didn't say go correct the syllabus of the professor. He says gouge out your own eye, right? Please don't do it. Please don't do it. Okay. And he says that Paul explains that he needs to flee from sexual immorality. Well, then, okay, flee from Duke if you think it's so immoral and go to divinity school and study there. There's no problem with that. Nobody's stopping you from doing that. It's a free country. So look, we're asking in a poll question, should he be kicked out of the school? Because I'm actually a little bit more, I don't know that angry is the right word, but I'll go further than Anna does on this. I think if you state, I am not here to learn, okay, I will pick and choose what I learn, and I won't let my professors make that decision, you are wasting someone's spot. Then go to divinity school and reread your Bible 1,000 times. This time, actually read it instead of just browsing past it and go, hey, wait, if a woman doesn't scream loud enough while she's being raped, should we stone her to death, right? Ask that question, right? Hey, wait a minute, did I ever eat shrimp? Well, is God going to send me to hell because I'm an abomination, right?
Maybe.
Okay, maybe, take the time in divinity school to really study these things. But don't go to a college where you're expected to learn things and say, here are the things I will not be learning, okay? And then the whole disingenuous thing, I'm just standing up for other people here.
You're standing up for nothing.
Yeah. He writes, I decided to post about my decision on the Duke class of 2019 Facebook page to comfort those with similar beliefs. Now, you did it to get some shine, dude. Right? Look at me, everybody. I'm so religious and Christian. I can't wait to get persecuted. Oh, they made me look at a boob panty. It's the usual Christian victimhood nonsense.